there's something to be said about the space between. That's what I think of when I think of the language of the heart. We're just kind of freestyling here, but you know how they tell you they say don't make plans when you're really excited, right? Don't make promises when you're really happy, and don't make decisions when you're angry, and don't make promises when you're happy. I think is more or less something like that. And the idea behind that is we don't want to base our or construct our life, based off of extreme emotion, because emotions are fickle, they come and go, etc. So I was thinking, maybe then for trying to tap into the language of the heart, get back into the body, get back into the feels, sort of, to balance things out, if you're getting too heady, is like find the space between our wicked lives. Coming back for more. Shout out if you know that reference. Anywho, so I'm thinking if you find the dial, like you dial it in between the emotion, in between the fluctuations, in between the swing of the pendulum, and sort of when you're at peace, you're not aggravated, you're not angry, you're not super excited, you're not super happy, you're not, It's easy to hear things when it's quiet, and if the heart is passion, is emotion, then maybe quieting down those things could be the easiest way to hear what it has to say. And for me personally, at least, how this is useful to me is when I'm really excited, I want to do a lot of things, and then when I'm depressed, I don't want to do shit. It's either one or the other. And so when I get stoked, or I have a lot of, say I wake up with a lot of energy, I just feel good. The colors look a little more crisp, the sun is a little brighter, the birds are a little louder, and I'm like, I can do anything. So I start, going all like, I'm gonna bring back this, and I'm gonna bring back that, and that project that I left behind, I'm gonna stop, or I'm gonna bring back, and that other project that I decided to stop, I'm gonna bring that one back too. I'm gonna do everything, and that's a tricky ball game, because as soon as you lose that energy, as soon as you lose that sort of motivation, then those aspirations are going to fall apart. And there's nothing worse than starting and stopping a project 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? If you guys are like me and you have 1,000 projects going on at any given time, having to pick up momentum again from the same thing over and over is the fucking worst, And it's like, is this for me? Is this not for me? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And it's like, look, man, if you keep basing everything off of your emotion, or if you keep making decisions out of excess, then as soon as that excess is gone, you're fucked. And that goes with the other end of the spectrum. If you're making decisions when you're super angry, as soon as that anger subsides, then you're stuck with that decision. And the decisions when we're angry are some of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make. So not that you shouldn't ever, right? Because I don't like to speak in ultimatums. I'm not saying never make a decision when you're angry, never make a promise when you're happy. I'm saying for the most part, right? When we find that sort of, we're sitting down at the end of the day and we're on a chair in the backyard, and yeah, you're tired because you had a long day, so you're not super energetic, but you're at peace because you're outside watching the sunset in the garden, and you're like, okay, I'm at a good balance here. I'm not super energetic, but I'm not, that's sort of the place we need to come to when we want to make serious decisions and reevaluate stuff. And it's like, yeah, maybe I don't actually want to start that project up. yeah, I do have some energy to spare for it, but that's not really what I want to do. It just sounds like a good idea. Or maybe I really don't want to make that quick decision because I'm frustrated with how my life is going, and I actually don't want to cut that out because that is something I really enjoy. But I'm just not approaching it right. I'm approaching it from whatever. That's to be determined, right? That's to be determined. But it's hard to determine shit when we're not making the decisions. When we're, I guess grounded could be the word we could use. Making decisions when we're grounded. I don't know. The semantics of it all, I guess, is somewhat subjective. But what I really want to hammer home in this video mostly is to not make decisions when we are at an extreme of emotion. And maybe that can be applied to other things in your life. I mean, that's up to you, Like I've said 1,000 times on this channel, I'm not necessarily here to give you guys answers. This isn't a here's the answer that's going to solve all your fucking problems type of video. Here's an extremely useful tool to go about your life. Use it as you want, change the gears around as you please to what fits your circumstance. Let's say you wake up and you have a ton of energy. Maybe the decision you would make, instead of I'm going to pick up all these projects or something drastic, it could be I'm going to use this energy to go for a run. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, it's not in every situation cut out decisions when you're at an extreme emotion. It's utilize emotions properly. Your emotion is the most powerful tool you have in your arsenal, period. And I mean the literally raw energy, like the fuel to get shit done in your life is your emotion. Your willpower, right, where you focus that energy, is equally as important, but not equally as powerful. I hope I'm able to make sense out of that. And every decision you make, right, your choice, your decision is where you're going to consolidate your focus into a single thing to manifest that single thing. But your will, your focus, is an actual muscle. There's tons of studies, go look them up, on how the will, how your focus is a muscle, and the more you use it, the less you have of it. That's why they say to handle the biggest things in the beginning of your day, because after a while you're not gonna have it in you to maintain that focus after so many choices. And it's like a muscle, as any other muscle. The more you use it, the better you get. But again, that's why it's so important to make sure that the decisions we make, which is a tax on our willpower, is towards something that's what we really want to do now and in the long run. Sort of both living in the moment and thinking ahead, blending the two together. And to beat a dead horse and to go back to the sort of premise of this whole video, decision making is a lot more useful when you do it from a calm, steady, grounded place. It's just how it is, just how the cookie crumbles. Thank you guys for being here for this video, for this little car chat. I'm getting really good at driving stick shift with one hand. Kids, don't try this at home. Gangsters, try it all you want. I'll see you guys soon, alright? Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon.